Oh, this is gonna make me cry if I get this right. I'm already a bit emotional today. Don't think I've ever cried on stream before. I don't think I'm gonna start now, but hello everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to another stream. I hope your week has been good so far, and I hope you're looking forward to your weekend. I apologize. I'm a little bit distracted today. I'll get into why in just a second, but love, thank you for the 34 months. I appreciate you. Um, yeah, I'm a little bit distracted because I went to see my mum today, and yesterday we collected our dog's ashes. Our rescue dog Yuki passed away about 2 weeks ago, and we requested that he be individually cremated because we wanted to scatter his ashes in our garden at my parents' house. So that's like on my mind because I went round uh like a couple hours ago and like saw the remains, and now I'm inspired to build some kind of memorial to Yuki, my dog, in my player house, which as of yesterday, we now know that we're gonna have like a dog bed item for decor if you take part in um the charity stuff for oh gosh, I can't remember what the charity's called. That's terrible. But it was in the roadmap video with Blizzard yesterday. Something habitats, helping habitats, something. I can't quite remember. And I probably will like use those items, but while I don't have access to those, I'm gonna see if we can like make something our own. Plus we haven't done any like housing stuff in quite a long time. So I was gonna head to my neighborhood, but before I do that, I do think if I log into my warlock, there's gonna be an achievement we can get, so we get an extra housing piece. Like so. That's the Dreadscar battle planning map. It's not gonna have a place in my lovely cottage that we've been building on stream so far, but it's another item. It's an achievement ticked off the list. And it make house level go up. So we are level 6 and like a quarter. Which is pretty good going. So we actually don't need to send any more missions for my warlock. She can't even summon any more imps. I'm just going to delete them. So she just needs to finish researching her order hall and then unlocking her hidden artifact appearance and finished her campaign. And then she'll be finished completely. I am a bit lacking in order resources right now, so I'm going to have to do some Legion World quests at some point, but that's not on the docket for today, I don't think. For now, I'm going to head to the house. But I hope your weeks have been good. And whatever you're up to at the weekend, I hope you have a lovely time. I have at least one friend, potentially more friends, coming to visit this weekend, which will be nice. Although one of my friends is sick, so we'll see if she's able to make it. I also recently downloaded the Cursor Trail add-on, and I thought it was going to save across my whole account, but it hasn't. But it's fine because I only show it in combat, so I'm gonna just dismiss it here. So, let me dress for the occasion. Perfect. She does need to take the shield off. Okay. I've like completely forgotten where we're at with housing in terms of like the decor that we've got. Because knowing me, I'm probably going to need lots of like beam platforms and things. Got 24 of the one that we use most commonly, and then lots of platforms. What about... I don't have any columns. I think... Which one is the vendor?
We have reasonable prices.
I think it's this one. We buy... Oh, I do have them. Not many. I usually buy these ones. Okay, I only have 8. No, I have 2 in storage. So if we buy... Still can't bulk purchase. 20 of those ones, and then get 20 of these ones too. Oops, I bought 21. Do we need anything else? We've got lots of walls. What would we need to make a bed? Probably like cushions. Sense. I think they call them pillows. I've got a rolled up one. Oh, I do have lots of the other cushions. Okay. We probably have enough to make some kind of a pet bed. Okay. So I was thinking of putting some kind of a pet bed in the living room because that's where my dog loved to hang out. So I'm wondering to start with if we use one of the small rugs, like a round rug. We could potentially use the standard one. Or I mean, there might even be a world where we can finally use some orc-themed stuff because I don't mind it looking a bit more, I guess, rugged. But I do think it needs to be round. How does this one look? He was a small boy, so he can have a small bed. Honestly, that on its own looks very much like a bed, but we can do better. What's this one? Not the right color. We do have a cushion that somewhat matches the rug that it's sitting on. Although I think it's gonna look a bit weird. That just looks a bit strange. I need the rug to honestly be larger. Because Yuki would have, he used to have a bed that sat on a little rug type thing. This is probably more accurate, but it's got the button in the center. And if we make it huge, it's just gonna look a little bit out of place, I think. His color was always orange in my head. And I think that's because he always wore an orange harness when we went on dog walks. I'm conscious that we don't have much orange in the room, or any actually, but maybe this fire bloom red might work. And then I'm trying to match the center color with these little tassels, which I think is probably going to be that color. The stitch rug can't be customized, sadly. I mean, he didn't have much else in his dog bed. What other cushions do we have? I mean, I'm definitely going to give him a plushie. He probably would have liked this dinosaur. It's cute. Oh gosh, there's a lot of things in this category that I wouldn't categorize as ornamental. Unless we take a second cushion. It's gonna have to be smaller. What am I trying to do here? No, that doesn't work either. Bed needs to be lower. Honestly, maybe we just put another rug. Like a bigger one. Or we could even use something like this, might be cute. Oh, look, they even have like bones along the outside. That's cute. Don't want it to clip into the wall. It can be slightly off center, that's fine. That's very cute. I know the colors are a little bit all over the place, but I think it works really well that the trim of this rug looks like it has bones on it. If you look closely, I think they're meant to be something else. They almost look like fins, but from afar they look like dog bones. Maybe he should just have another plushie. Who cares? He deserves it. Maybe this one is like... It's going to potentially stand the other one up, but I think they can both lay down. The tusks on the elk are kind of disconcerting. I'm trying to hide them a little bit. It's honestly a little bit scary. Guess he could lay this way, facing away. Doesn't that look terrifying from from close up? Guess I can make it smaller. There we go. From afar, it doesn't look too bad. Okay. So we have a little pet bed. Kind of looks like a pumpkin that's pushed into the ground. What else would Yuki have liked? Maybe we can make use of this stitched pillow that I never use. He did like manage to accumulate a lot of stuff. Bear with me 1 second, guys. Hey Lucid, how are you doing? Sorry, you arrived just as I muted because the front door went and I wasn't sure if I was needed. I hope you're doing well. We are just building a little fake pet bed for my late dog Yuki, who I lost very recently. Just trying to make a little memorial for him. I'm quite alright, thank you. Hope you're doing well. I'm very glad to hear. Yeah, I'm okay, thank you. It's nice to be back doing some housing because we've not done it for quite some time. Is there anything else? Oh, Lucid. I think that's a very common thing to do. I'm sure I will be doing it too. I mean, right now, I have like a slideshow of different photos of him on my lock screen so that when I tap, I can see him in throughout the years. But my mum, she wanted to do it as well, so I helped her make it on her phone. And then she said, actually, I've had to turn it off because it just makes me sad every time. I get it. It does kind of sting a little bit, but I mean, I don't live in the house where Yuki used to live. I live with my boyfriend elsewhere. So I don't have things of him to kind of have around the house. So it's something that I can keep with me easily and have fond memories when I look at photos of him. He was a very photogenic dog, I must say. Very pretty boy. We do have this dog house, but I honestly resent using this because my dog would never have used this, not even outside. Fun thing about rescues, they don't tend to like kennels. Interesting how that works. Oh, we have the Murloc plushie as well. Honestly, I'm just gonna give him everything. He deserves it. Maybe the Murloc can be the biggest toy. If we were being really true to Yuki's character, all of these toys would be de-stuffed because he certainly didn't take very good care of his toys. Maybe this one is leaning up against the bed like this. It's gonna look a bit cuckoo from afar if people don't know what this is, but that's okay. We know what this is. That looks so scary. I mean, I don't want to turn him around because that's what I did with the other one. But the eyes are a little bit too much. Maybe he just needs to be a bit smaller. Everyone grieves differently, so that's fair enough. Yes, absolutely. He looks a little bit creepy, but he's adorable, and he's actually the thing that you get from the current Twitch drop that's active for WoW, so it's good that we're using it. Is that leaning? I think it is. They do have to clip a little bit in order for them to lean convincingly. The only other thing I was going to give him was like a little pet bowl or two. Which again, there are items for that coming. This water's bubbling, that's no good. But while I don't have the items, can I make my own? This could probably be used. If we hid this inside a cabinet with just this side sticking out, that looks like a water bowl. We had Yuki's stuff in the kitchen, so I'm wondering maybe this nice blank space off to the side of the kitchen might be the best place for it, or maybe here. We can try and build something here. Because I think the rest of the kitchen is kind of done. We don't want to interfere too much with it. Your house looks so cozy, at least the part we can see right now. Thank you. It's been a work in progress. Every time I've worked on this house, it's been on stream, so it's all documented if you want to go back and see it from the start. But we have a kitchen area with a little fake skylight. There's a greenhouse out the back. This was before we got the interior daylight room, so I made a fake interior room. There's a pantry with some exposed beam ceilings and just lots of food and clutter items around. Lots of lanterns. There's a wine press area. Here's our reading nook with a fireplace. This was one of the first areas we made. And then a little storage area right by the front door, which is just, it's got nothing in it apart from clutter items. But we made this fake ladder to get up to a lofted space, which you can't actually access, but it looks like there's stuff up there because we put one barrel up in the top to make it, to create an illusion. I love the skylight. This took me a while to make. I think I did make this on stream, but I came back and finessed it later on because I'd streamed for quite a few hours and I was just felt like I was chasing my tail, so. So we were going to try and make a pet food and drink area. First of all, if we grab this and bring it over. We put it kind of here. And then, I mean, can we take one of these as an example? It's going to have to sink further into the wall. I mean, it fits perfectly in that space, but I'm wondering about building something of my own. My house is literally empty because I bought it and then did nothing with it. My boyfriend's house is the exact same, and that's fair enough. Housing calls to some people and it doesn't to others. At least you've got somewhere to go to if you ever change your mind. I pictured this being made out of wood. It does clip a little less desirably than I was hoping, because I didn't want that big lip at the top exposed. But unless we literally do that, there's not really much we can do unless we just very intricately lay at different beams to hide that part. Do we have anything else that could work? Oh, actually, this item might just be better if it can be shrunk down enough. Then we might not need all the bells and whistles even. Oh, look at that. It's spilling over the edges, but that's all right. We always had a mat underneath his food and drink stuff, so we can do that. I mean, the little default housing one is kind of perfect. Have you been playing much of the pre-patch event so far, Lucid? Oh, there's a tiny bit of clipping in the corner. Do you see it? And in this corner. What can we do about that? Possibly not much. Oh, if you spin it enough, they do hide. Can we put anything around the fountain to hide the fact that it's like spilling over the edges? I think a stone is just gonna block the water graphic. I mean, it kind of does work, but I don't like that it's an odd shape, irregular shape. No, that's fine. We could maybe use something that's like a cup shape, like a chalice. It's not round in the top. Not really. To be blunt, I think it's dog shit. Like, yay, let's go around and kill some rares and do some wild quests that aren't special at all. Plus the rewards just being champion gear, I don't know. I thought it was for characters to get caught up with gear as well, and champion track isn't going to help a lot. Yeah, it is underwhelming, I do agree. I'm kind of just, to be honest, I'm almost done with it already. I usually collect some stuff from pre-patch events just because they're limited time and I've always enjoyed collecting, but I do agree that it's definitely not my favorite pre-patch event that they've ever made. mean, that's a huge bowl of water, but I mean, kind of works. If we put this here and then hide. I was hoping the fountain could clip into the goblet a bit better. I might have other items. Goblet. See, they've all got that. Is that hexagonal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hexagonal shape. Cup. No. I mean, this works, but I don't want the glow effect. I think that's going to look a bit strange, isn't it? We don't need his bowl illuminated. See, my mind doesn't even work like that. The fact that you can think of how to cover this up is amazing. Yeah, I guess I've had a lot of years of Sims, so I know how much input I'm willing to give to like figure something out that's not given to me in the game, if that makes any sense. Some people would say extra, but it is what it is. What do we think? I don't know. Maybe I'm making it worse. It's just really bugging me that it's overflowing. Maybe I can just live with it. I don't know. That's probably fine, right? For now, I can't customize it, sadly, to change that brassy color, but you get from afar what that is. It looks like a bowl of water on the ground. There's some clipping going on. I think that's cute. I get that, but also the weapons are just the same Donegal weapons we've had before, just with a different skin. It's my first pre-patch and it's pretty disappointing. Yeah, I agree with the like recolors and everything. They do the same thing with the cosmetic rewards. The 2 mounts that you can get from the event are both recolors. I think the pre-patch event is a good time to let us have a mount model that exists in Midnight so that we've got something to look forward to. It's like a little teaser. But we got a recolor of a Sky Razor and a recolor of the mech suit. There's not really much else to the rewards, if I'm being completely honest. There we go. Okay, what about food? Don't have any bowl items, that's no use. I fear his bowl's going to be empty because I might struggle to find things that look like dog food. I don't think it's extra, I think it's incredible. Why, thank you. If this didn't have moss on it, I would have been tempted to turn this on its head. Oh, that looks gross. We're not using that. I guess the keg can look like a bowl. Yeah, this is going to be perfect, I think. And then hopefully I can shrink it into or lower it into the ground without it not allowing me. I hope you guys don't mind that one of these is hexagonal and the other one's octagonal. Doesn't bother me too much. That even looks a little bit like a paw. What a happy accident. Hi, Clipping. How are you doing? Perfect. Work. I don't want it to be empty. That feels really sad. I feel like I need to put some food in it. But surely shrink a bunch of these down and dye them brown. And it looks like kibble. Okay, they don't go super small. Um, nature. Oh, they don't come under nature? Rock. Slate. What about these? Oh, yeah. I'm going to use a crazy amount of my budget on just making some kibble, I fear. How many, like, where is this feasibly going to fit? Also, do I have, like, a good color? It's gonna look low-key a bit fecal, I fear. My dog's kibble was brown. Or I guess we can try and go, like, pale. Or even, like, yellowish. Because that... He had, what do they call it? Hypoallergenic food for a while. Because we weren't sure if he had any allergies when we first got him. And that was, like, a pale off-white color. Maybe that looks less suspect than the brown. What do they call the rocks? Bone? There we go. These are the best ones. They're just too large, really. But if I maybe just layer lots of them in different angles, it still looks convincing without spending a ton of budget. Oh, you can't customize them. That's annoying. Surely you can. This decor has no available customizations. Dyeable only. Oh, it is literally just the slate ones. Okay. How small do you go? Like the tiny individual ones? Nope, too big. I'd love to put something like, uh, this down because why not? But that is just going to look a little bit weird. And I don't think there's any type of food that I could even convincingly put in this dog bowl. Lobster thermidor for your nerve. Some noodles. Let's just try and do like maybe 3 of these or 4. Now, do we want doo-doo or do we want pale yellow? Maybe if it's kind of a rich orangey red color, it will look better. To be fair, we can always change the color later if we change our minds. The noodles do look hilarious though. Now I imagine your pup just eating noodles with chopsticks. I would have loved to have seen Yuki try and maneuver his way around noodles because, I mean, it would have been a mess, but probably would have liked it. To do concerns of real. I get it, Loki. Let's go with pale for now, and we can change it later. The food we used to give him, they were like milky, some little small. They were called milk bones. They were treats to be fair, but they were sort of this off-white color. I'm gonna go with bone white because I also have 24 of that dye, so I'm not gonna run out. We do run the risk of it literally looking like bones, but I think when they're all clustered up together, it will make a bit more sense. And they can be all at different levels. So that's 3, right? How much do these cost each? Oh, they're only 1. That's good. Some things in your decor cost like 5 of your budget just for 1 item. I think that's absurd. It's probably the closest we're getting to kibble, if I'm honest, but maybe like 1 or 2 more. I wish they went even smaller, but that's all right. I was just curious if we could weave a slightly different color into them. I have Kalimdor sand. Maybe that would help. Yeah, that actually does kind of look better. Like breaks up the colors a little bit. And then I was considering seeing how small a rug would go. Oh, it's going to be fractionally too big, isn't it? No. Why doesn't it shrink down to 10%? That's really frustrating. The lowest it goes is 20. Yeah, it's going to clip. Or is it actually? I just thought maybe if the bottom had some more color to it, it would look even more convincingly like food. I can't tell which axis is which. Needs to be slightly on an angle because I've angled the bowl. Look, we've managed to hide it. And then maybe not like blood red. That's a little bit too soon. I was thinking gravy. That mahogany, which I don't have any of, isn't bad. Or the copper. Oh, look, it's even got the swell. The rug having the little detail on it. Oh, earthen brown was perfect. I don't have any. Let's not go green. I think it's copper. Let's go for copper. There you go. Bon appetit, Yuki. He's eating good in this household, let me tell you. Did you see the announcement from yesterday? I did, yes. I got back. We had a little trip to IKEA yesterday because we have been living in this flat for 6 months and we still don't have a coffee table. So we went and got one of those. And then basically, as soon as we got back, it was just in time for the announcement, which was good timing. Very excited for Prop Hunt, Labyrinth, and also very happy for all the housing divas for the changes they're implementing. Yes, I'm very curious about labyrinths because they said they're kind of inspired by mega dungeons. So I wonder how they're going to execute it so that it doesn't feel just like Dungeons 2.0, you know? I have no idea where most of these objects have come from. Okay. Yuki has a pet bed little memorial with all of his toys. And he's got food and water. He didn't really have many other things. I don't think I have the means with which to make like a dog harness, unfortunately, that we had like hung on a wall for his walks and stuff. Mm. Maybe we make like a little makeshift countertop here. Kind of sunken into the wall. He was a very short dog. He had very little legs, so we can put this here. And then just duplicate. What size did I go for? 30. Never get these lined up perfectly. It's very frustrating. It's fine for now. I personally like delves, so having a big delve to explore sounds fantastic to me. Yeah. Do you think you will do them solo or will you have people to do them with? And then I was considering making another little makeshift cabinet type thing over here. But I'm not sure how I want to do that. Just so that it's not one long table across the top. What could we use? Structural. We could do it as simple as using a beam and just putting some fake doors on it or something. Have they moved where the pillars go? I can't find pillars in structural anywhere. Pillar. Oh, it's because I had outdoors ticked only. What else did I have that? Anyway. Let's just do a plain one, I think. Push it into the wall. No, I'm gonna need something bigger. Gonna need a bigger boat. I see people doing whole artworks in housing, and I wouldn't even be able to do a dog bowl yet. So I get what you mean. I get very inspired seeing other people's creations on Instagram or wherever. Both. That's what I like about delves. If I want to just vibe and be by myself for a bit, I still have content I can do by myself, but I also love just doing it with the girlies. Also have to see how labyrinths work exactly. It is nice having the option. It's not like a dungeon where if you really want to do that type of content, but you just need some time to yourself, unless you do follower dungeons, which at least at my level is not really like doesn't give any useful rewards. Delves are definitely a nice way to kind of bridge that gap, I suppose. Am I gonna do my same old trick of just stacking these tables and making a fake cabinet? I mean, it would probably come out a little bit. Maybe like that. How big does she go? Oh, she can go big. Because this will save our budget if we don't have to use multiple. And then same again, flipped the other way. And scaled up to 170. These angles are tricky, but I think that's pretty lined up. Before I dye anything, I'm going to make sure it's actually like looking the way that we would like it to look. I mean, maybe we could put another one of these. I'm not sure if I want to close it off entirely. Or have some shelves. I'd probably close it off, to be fair. In which case, I think I take a third one of these. Rotate it. Doing this very much the hard way. 270. Now, it's probably going to have to be smaller in scale so that it fits the width correctly. So she's going to clip a little bit, but oh my god, it fits perfectly. Are you kidding? Okay, the metal doesn't align, but that's okay. It actually kind of does. It's just that one is skinnier than the other. Wow, I'm impressed by that. Once this is all dyed in the same color, it's going to be even less noticeable. And if it's still noticeable, we will just like use some beams or something. My go-to wood color is heartwood. double heartwood, and maybe I can get away with not dyeing that. Do you think? Let's see. No, I can't. I like it too much. This is the only part that's a little bit annoying. Is that big clipping in the top left corner. But it didn't do it on the other side, so can we fix it on this side? Not really. Oh no, I've made it worse. Well, there is always a solution. And it's this. Just block it off, Diva. Just block it off. No one has to see it. No one has to know. Now, we can't dye these beams, sadly, so they are slightly a different color from the wood that we've just dyed. But I think we'll be okay. Then we would need preferably a third pillar, a vertical one. Hmm. Let's try. Just want to cover up that little edge that doesn't line up. So maybe we can just do a beam going the other way. Every way I try to cover something up, it causes another thing I have to fix. Scale. What can I do? Maybe on an angle? Does that just look really strange? Maybe if it's mirrored on the other side, it won't look too weird. Oh gosh, look at that. No, because then it's not centered with the other one. Me thinking I could just get away with using beams to cover up all of my shortcomings. Structural walls and columns. This would drive me nuts. I see it as a challenge and I'm going to try to overcome it. Um, could we put two mm, two pillars like beside each other? Or maybe this is fine, but that tiny gap back there will drive me nuts. Let's see. Usually this sort of thing works fine. Like, there will be a seam, but we maybe put this one slightly behind the other one. It's not too bad. I think I'd rather... Actually, maybe it does look better overlapping that way. And it's not causing issues in the greenhouse. Okay, well that's a short-term solution at least. The whole reason I made this section was because, I mean, it looked a little bit empty just having the pet food. But I also wanted to have like a big bag of what looked like dog food or dog treats or something. I thought I had more of those sacks of something. These. Sethralis Priest's Pillow. Oh, it's a pillow. I only have this one. Just gonna quickly look up how to get that. Sethralis Priest's Pillow. Vendor High Tides Wren. Oh, it literally comes from the neighborhood vendor. I considered just taking that one from the pantry. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. If I feel strongly about replacing the one that's in the pantry, I'll just go and buy another one. And let's tip this up. I'm probably going to scale it up a little bit just for effect, because we had a huge bag of dry food for the dog. Cost effective, Diva. There's probably more stuff we can add on to this shelf here. First time chatting, found you from YouTube. Your house looks amazing. Thank you, Lidl Lee. How are you doing today? This is a little bit too alchemical to put in like a dog station. Ornamental. Which I've got so many more things than what I'm used to now. So I've been working hard. I mean, do we just put some books, or is that weird? Maybe books is fine. Doing good so far, thank you. How have you been enjoying the pre-patch? It's been good, thank you. I did a whole stream of the event, the Twilight Ascension event, on Wednesday. And there is a VOD of that on my VOD's channel if you want to see the whole thing. We did like a bunch of rares. I did all of my world quests and weekly quests and everything before stream actually started. And I've got all of my achievements already, so I'm kind of just logging on when I have some downtime and just watching YouTube and killing rares to pass time in an evening, for example. And eventually, before the event ends, I will buy a bunch of stuff because I think I'm at nearly 300 of the insignia. So I can buy probably everything that I would like already, to be fair. Just seeing out of curiosity how many things we can feasibly get. What about you? Have you been playing the breed much? Kobold Candle Trio. Might be kind of cute. This area needs like some light. And I'm not a fan of just putting candles on a surface like that. They need to sit in a dish. That's just me. Because this house has very quickly become realism or nothing. But I always run out of things that can serve as a dish. Usually I use like a shrunken down table. Like this one will probably work. It can be small enough. It's a little bit large. What about this one? Although it's going to clip through the bottom of... Oh, that's so annoying. Does that clip? It does if you look at it. No, I can see it. That's going to bug me. Can it be raised any higher? Oh, it can. There we go. It's giving fire hazard, but we don't mind. This character's a shaman. I'm sure she can deal with any fire instance. Been rare farming so far. I don't have too much time to play, but I got the achievement mount yesterday. Congratulations! I think they upped the spawn rate of the rares, which is really useful, especially if you don't have much time to play, because it was originally 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes they were spawning, I think, and like you say, if you don't have much time to play, then 10 minutes kind of is valuable amount of time. No, not that one. Is there any other kind of light that we would like over here? I can't say I'm a fan of most of the lights that we've got in the game so far. But we've got so many more decor items coming our way very soon, so I'm just holding out. Or some kind of wall hanging here. No portrait. Anything that can somewhat loosely harken back to my dog? Probably not. I do love that they added physics to the curtains. That just looks a little bit random. I just think this wall looks plain. It needs something. This is too fancy. That's the ebon blade. That's no good. Maybe something like this. It's going to make me want to figure out a way to create a custom lead, isn't it? Off the top of your heads, anyone who enjoys housing, any items that look like rope or a lead? Probably not. I've tried to make hanging things before, and to make it yourself, it just doesn't work because they don't have physics or anything. We've got like the kites, which obviously have the long strings on them. I'm not going to be able to hide the bird on the hook. What is this? Oh my god, is this exactly what I need? Oh, this is going to make me cry if I get this right. I'm already a bit emotional today. It's clipping through the wall. What the fuck? Don't think I've ever cried on stream before. I don't think I'm going to start now, but I just so assumed that I couldn't make something look like a lead, but this honestly is a lot closer than I thought I would ever get. It's the physics though. It is kind of weird. Because it kind of ends up clipping into the wall. Like so. But then if I bring it too far forward, the rest of the object then becomes visible. There's something there. I see it. Maybe it just needs to be tilted forward further. It's like randomly blowing in the wind, which doesn't make any sense, but can't tilt it the other way without making it visible. I mean, that might be the closest we're ever gonna get it. That makes me very happy and a little bit sad at the same time. Because we still have his his not leash, his lead and his collar and his harness. Okay. Lastly, any like little flowers? I was thinking of these nice poppies. In some kind of pot, vase, basket. Oh, okay, it does need to be the hollowed out basket. I liked that the other basket had the handle on it. Let's get microscopic up in here. I almost felt like taking a picture of this and sending it to my mum. Yeah. Well, we have a water bowl, a food bowl. It's not centered under this shelf, I'm now realizing, but it's going to stay where it is. And then we've got some food, some little memorial flowers, and his lead still hanging on the hook, kind of very gently blowing in the wind. Which does kind of make sense because there is an open flame nearby, so there would be movement in the air. Okay. It's probably a good enough memorial to my dog for now. Maybe if we make a garden space, because we have the new interior room type. Not sure what all these rooms are doing. I'm just going to get rid of these. We have the daylight circle room now, so you can make something that looks like outdoor space in your house. This could be an opportunity to make a garden space, even though we could literally go outside of the house and have a garden out there. We have very limited decor budget for exteriors currently, so maybe making an internal garden might be a nice idea. Okay, well, that is lovely and warms my heart. I am going to use this opportunity to take a very quick break, and then when we get back, we will continue on with the house. We need to do something with the rest of this hallway because it's looking very empty. So the next project is the hallway. I'll see you soon. Tea. We have returned, and I think that's all the homage I'm going to pay to my dog for now. I might think of stuff like down the line, but I think we've made a very nice memorial to him already. So the next thing is this hallway, because this is just unused space, and we're kind of trying to go for cozy, slightly compact cottage core vibes. Don't get me wrong, this living room is very grand, but that's just because I had an idea of what this room would look like and it kind of needed to be a little bit bigger. But I had the thought of rounding this archway so that it's a bit more interesting to look at, maybe. And I think if I have those elven rounded tables, I might not have any. Oh, I do. Curved table, not rounded. I think these would probably work well. Sort of tipped up like this. We'll obviously dye them. And then I guess we would also tip them at some kind of angle. it might look boo-boo from the back. Oh, it actually doesn't look horrendous. It's just a question of how much rounding do we do? Is it just me or does it look wonky? I've got the wrong axis. I mean, it says it's at 270 degrees. I guess just because it's curved, it's going to look a little bit irregular from some angles. I think it looks better now. I think it has to be something like this. It's such a small detail, but to me, it's important, you know? Now can I mirror this on the other side? We'll see. 270. That's not right. That's pretty spot on, kind of. This one goes up higher. Maybe we scale it up. Because I don't want to use a ton of them, because that's just going to use all of my storage space. My decor budget. Oof, no, it looks bad from this end. About this? Ooh, 150 might be perfect. Because I don't mind it clipping somewhat there. And it covers the width of the archway perfectly. So if this is 150 as well, and then I just have to try and marry them up on this side. What is that? What's the leg of the table? The lighting from the back is going to be a bit weird because I've got a light well out of the window over here, so the back of it is going to look a bit strange. They don't look even. Okay, now they do more so. I guess they don't look even because this side has the... What's this called? This cabinet? It's pretty close though. Ooh, we could even use like a nice trim color. Maybe like holy oak tan. Or do something darker. Because the living room has a lot of red in it. So I'm wondering about maybe the mage royal. Oh, but that makes the back look really strange. That's not the mage royal's fault though, that's the heartwood. Okay, so with that in mind, we ideally need to hide the back ends of the archways. Or we just duplicate the tables and do ones on opposite sides of them. So I think they need to be scaled down again. Let's try 120. There we go. It's going to take a lot of experimentation, I think. The angle we had before was better. And it's bleeding into the kitchen too much. Or we bring them further out and marry them in the middle. But then there's a gap. Tricky. It's going to have to be something as like subtle as that, I think. Oh no. I've just flipped the wrong axis. There we go. There we go. That's better. Okay. So it is still visible on the back side. But honestly, maybe it's fine. What do we prefer? The dark red or the light beige? Now that I'm looking at it, maybe I do prefer the beige. Like the realism in your house? Thank you. I've started out the gate going with realism because I thought it would be the best way for me to get an intro to housing and how to play with everything and how things work, rather than starting out the gate with like a high fantasy, you know, uh, almost surrealist type build, because I mean the limit does not exist when it comes to decor, but I didn't want to overwhelm myself at first. Do I just go with heartwood for now? Because we don't... Hmm. The mage royal is nice, it just doesn't make a ton of sense. Kodohide brown. What colors did I use in here? I used the Forsaken plum. No, that doesn't work. Green's kind of cute, actually, but if you're looking into a room that's filled with red, I feel like green on the archway is not quite the vibe. I think all those extravagant houses and everything are fantastic and impressive, but a lot of times they don't feel like a house anyone would actually live in. Yeah, I felt inspired to just go cottagecore. It felt attainable and relatable, as you say, something you would live in or you would have your character live in. Okay. That is a small detail where in the future, if we run into a decor budget issue, maybe one of the first places I resort to in terms of removing things. Because they do cost 3 budget each, so they are a bit pricey. I also have some low Pandaren walls somewhere. These Pandaren stone wall. I was really hoping to use these because I like having little hints back to Pandaria in this house, given that its owner is a panda. But you can't change the color of this, sadly, and it just doesn't really fit. And also, I'm trying to put it in the archway, and the game doesn't allow you to do that unless you finesse it. Okay, I wondered about just having some columns and walls as like a partition. But I think with the rounded ceiling, this wall looks a little bit out of place. I wonder if there's something else we can do. We wouldn't just use like fencing, would we? No, it's the wrong color. We also don't have to add anything else, to be fair. I'm being very extra right now. Other than like some curtains, I don't know what else I would put up here. Accents, wall hangings. I continue to have quandaries with the curtains because we don't quite yet have enough choice. And I mean, this is not quite the vibe. Maybe like... I don't want to just cover up what we've just done. I was wondering about, I don't know, 1 or 2 of these. Does one look really weird? Yeah, it does. Maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe it doesn't need anything else. If we hang them on an angle, the physics look strange. Maybe it's fine. Maybe I need to less is more on this occasion. To be fair, drapes on the other side wouldn't be a bad shout to cover this lighting bug. But then I would probably go for these, and they just... It bugs me because they don't look the same on both sides. Oh, it actually looks quite pretty from that side though, like as you walk in. These could be like a dark red. Ooh, that's lush. Looks glamorous. What color would complement that? I mean, the default color isn't bad. Just like a nice pale gold. Because the other yellows and golds are a little bit garish, in my opinion. Gold and bronze. I mean, bronze is literally... I can't tell the difference. So I'd rather just save my dye. Or the copper is quite nice. We didn't want something quite so bright. Maybe the copper looks a bit better, actually. But my issue is, I've mentioned this on previous streams, flipping this backwards, which is proving difficult right now. Flipping this 90 degrees, it looks different because it doesn't have the pleat at the top. But maybe I can see past it on this occasion. Because at the end of the day, you're going to traverse the house from this way when you first come in. So very few people are going to notice. It's only when you come back through the house this way that it would be clockable. So if we want to hide as much of that lighting bug as possible without it looking clumsy, they kind of need to go like this, don't they? Maybe lower them down. Fine by me. Then it almost looks like it's a exclusive area. Like if you were to have a gathering or something, you would close these curtains off and it feels like a party area. So we said the Mage Royal. Oh, and bronze. Was it bronze? No, copper. It's pretty. I'll allow it this once. Maybe in the future it will bug me, but I think that's really pretty. It just softens this space and gives it something more interesting to look at when otherwise it is very empty. Maybe this side needs a rug. Because this side has a rug under the coffee table. This side of the house has a lot of like the more muted cool tones in it. So I'm wondering about trying to complement that without massively contrasting the other side. Because this is not going to work, I don't think. This kind of deep red. Maybe it does. I don't know. It's separate enough that it isn't a huge problem. It's going to be off-center. That's something I didn't consider. I don't want to use the bear rug. That feels bad. Not this one. Probably not that one. This one's a bit too bright, I think, maybe. If it weren't white and red, if it were kind of off-white and red, I'd probably be all over it. But yeah, I don't know, this rug feels a little bit out of place. These rugs have holes in them. So we're back to the good old circle rug. And I think this area calls for a rectangular rug. So I guess we are just gonna take another Sindorai rug. I'm gonna scale it up a bit. And then try and center it without it offsetting everything else. That's actually deceptively... It looks like it's aligned, at least to me. It's definitely not, but it is. Is there any benefit to shrinking this down into the ground a little bit? Just clips the tassels, doesn't it? It's fine as it is. Do you know what I've not done this whole time? I've not used windows, just plain and simple. The only time I've made windows is when there's a fake outdoor space, like this bay window, and then also looking out into the greenhouse. So I could just use a window for what its original purpose was. I don't love how most of the windows look. And I really wish we could stop this bright blue light, because that is just egregious to me. And you can't change the color of the light that's coming in. I think if I turn this around, it just looks weird. Because there's no outside. I mean, maybe this is okay, because it almost just acts like a light. She's too short to even see out of the window, bless her. Maybe just so that there's something on that wall. It's pretty cute. So now we have some empty space here. Just in this kind of corridor. What could go here? A bar shelf, like a bar storage unit thing. I think it sticks out too far. To have some kind of storage thing. There's lots of bookcases in this room, so I think I'm happy to not use any more bookcases. I have some Pandaren stuff. Like this planning table. Um, and this scribe's podium, lectern, that's the word. I struggle with spaces like this. Because sometimes I don't know how much is too much and when I should just leave a space to just be empty. I have a replica scroll of the scroll of the what? Replica Chronicle of Ages. Honestly, I kind of live for this. It comes out a long way. And it's huge. But I was saying that I wanted more Pandaria themed items in this character's house. Oh, that looks a bit weird. Shelving, there's a cart. Could just use a privacy screen. Like it's not being used right now. It's actually kind of pretty. I'm almost a bit tempted to mirror that window on this wall. My only issue is I don't have the exact same one. It has to be the one without any markings on it. But that's probably fine, right? Sure. I've been waiting to use that privacy screen. I have a feeling I might steal it in the future, potentially for a bathroom or a bedroom. But in the meantime, it just adds something to that little side of the wall. And then I guess maybe this side is empty. Maybe we just add a light or something. Not that I have many lights that I like the look of. They're all just too rugged. It's all horns and chains and open flame. Could probably grab a small light. Potentially the chamber stick. Or I was thinking, I wonder if these elegant table lamps could just go on a wall, but they're... Small lights have strange light effects. Oh gosh, I so need to use these lanterns. They're beautiful. I don't think it's going to go in here. I like these when you group them together and you have them of different sizes, so they're all hanging down at different heights. But it's gonna... We've got too much red going on, I fear. And all the other kind of standing lights. I don't care too much for candelabras. Hmm. Maybe like a desk? Maybe she could have a lectern. I kind of wanted to save items like that to build her a little office space because I think it would be really cute to have a room dedicated to professions. Because this character is a scribe. She has inscription. There's an elven desk. But I mean, no, let's just grab this regular one because we can hopefully customize it. Because all the other wood tones in this room are heartwood. Dear, I'm going to head off. Thank you for the stream. I enjoy the soothing vibe so much. Thank you, Lucid. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Mm. Thank you. Would we shrink it down? Maybe a little bit. She's a little lady. And maybe it needs to be on an angle. Don't want to interfere too much with how this room looks when you walk into it. So maybe it's best to hide it in this corner instead. Yeah, I actually think this is going to look better, although we've got some clipping. Maybe like this. Yeah, that looks better. And then I was going to maybe just put one of those round cushions or something rather than a whole chair. Oh, we actually have a Pandaren cradle stool, which might be quite nice. Maybe that works better. It can't be customized, so it is a fractionally different shade of brown, but it's okay. And maybe it's tucked under the desk while she's not using it. Or actually, maybe we should leave it out so that she can physically sit on it. I'm curious. She's facing the wrong way. You can fix that by turning the stool around, I believe. Oh, could even push it in a little bit further. I don't want it to be dragged out into the room too far. There we go. That looks a bit more realistic. She might look strange when she sits in it now. Or not, it's actually perfect. But it looks like it's been scooted out so that she can get in and out quickly. And the different wood tones aren't massively noticeable. Okay. Rather than leaving the desk completely bare, we do have some scrolls we could use. How many do I have? This one's kind of cool. We also have books. Maybe use some green books. It's a nice little bit of contrast. And then maybe we've got a rolled scroll, like a basic one. And then this one looks quite nice next to it, perhaps. But they might have to... I was either going to stand them next to each other, but now I think maybe if we lay one down in the front and then stand the other one up and lean it. It's way too big. It's clipping, but I think it might have to. It's not bad. Would we put anything on the actual table? What is this? Oh my goodness. Okay. I've discovered there's a lot of Skyreach themed items that are coming out of the woodworks all of a sudden. There is the map item, which we could lay on its, like lay down on an angle so that it looks like it's on the desk. Or an open book. That one's enchanted though. Oh gosh, what is that item called? I'd have swore it was a map. Paper. Eat. Unless I've used it already. I have, it's in here. Gilnean map. I don't know if I like it. I don't love that it's bolted down. But I mean, maybe for now it's okay. certainly serving more of a purpose than it was in its previous location, because like you couldn't even see it. Surprised I remember it was there. I must get the armillary out, because that changes the ambience of the house, and I haven't tried that yet. Big old candelabra. This shelf is excessively extra. It's also Arakoan themed again. No, the shelf is a bit too out of place, I think. She needs some kind of light. I guess she could maybe have a candelabra. Is this customizable? It is. We could make it like a bronzy color. It's very bright, which I do quite appreciate. The light, I mean. But it is making it difficult to tell what color the candelabra actually is. Maybe we could do bronze. Have you ever played The Sims? Housing in WoW is very reminiscent of that for me. I have played The Sims, yeah. I used to play it all the time. That's including Sims 1 through 4, plus a bunch of spin-off games and all the rest of it. So lots of building experience. So I felt very seen when we got player housing, I must say. Are you enjoying housing so far yourself? Yeah, I'm honestly not mad at the candelabra. It's casting a very bright glow on the wall, but I think I'm okay with that for now. Don't have enough paintings. These portraits are no good. I don't care for them myself. Where is the monk banner? Netherlight is priest, uncrowned is rogue, Tiriscard is mage, Silverhand is paladin, druid, unseen is rogue, must be. Oh, actually, unseen, that's hunter. Ebon Blade, Valajar. Maybe monks didn't get one. This is looking like a fire hazard, isn't it? No, let's not do that. My favorite Sims game to this day is The Sims 2. In terms of like gameplay and building and everything, but honorable mention, I have to say, the Herbs Sims in the City is an underrated game. I used to play it non-stop on PS2. You couldn't do much building in it, but you were a sim living in the city, and you would travel around to different districts and meet different cliques of sims and you could interact with them to learn social interactions from them. You could unlock their fashion. You could like work a job in their area and then just like progress to each area. That's kind of the point of the game. And become really popular basically. I used to love that game. I don't know why. Something needs to go on this wall, I think. Maybe shelves? Love a shelf. Ooh, we could do like one big one. Maybe not too big. What do they call these books? Literature. Literature. Any other books we want to use? No, probably not, to be fair. Just a little bit of green somewhere. And then I feel like I'm running out of decorative shelving pieces. Probably not apothecary supplies, looking like poison. How big are these things? Oh, kind of big. We've always got some kind of storage box or crate. Or I could finally use this basket, to be fair. Cute. a little, I wouldn't call it a study, but just something in that space that makes it a bit more interesting. Wonder if she could even have a tiny rug, or if that's going to make it look weird. I do mean pretty small. Like tucked under there like that. Probably in some kind of major oil color, like a deep red. Or what other colors are going on in this room? Like the light color. Holy oak tan, I think I've been using. Yeah, maybe that's a bit better. Just something. Okay. I'm curious by this Hearthlight Armillary now. The armillary oscillates with anticipation. Choose a mood. So we have default. Oh. Whoa. That's cute. So natural light almost casts like a sunset, sunrise glow where there's like a little bit of hazy purple everywhere. Unnatural dark is, I mean, I don't think I would call this unnatural. It just looks like it's nighttime, which honestly is quite cozy. Evening calm. I'm probably gonna like this one, aren't I? Oh, all of the reds in this room just came alive because of the lighting. Oh, wow. I like that very much. And then we've got midnight. Is this the one that's foggy? Ooh. Not for this house, but this is nice. We went for like haunted, freezing cold, middle of the night. I can't choose between natural light or evening calm. In my head, this house is kind of in perpetual early morning. So I'm kind of tempted by the natural light, but I think I've got to give it to evening calm for now because this is this is outrageously cozy. Also, what is this? My map was open. So, can I get rid of this? It appears that you can. So you can set the mood, the ambience of your house with the Hearthlight Armillary, as long as you're level 6 in your house. And then you can put it back in your storage and the ambience stays the same. Cool. I like that. Okay. We've done 2 little memorial sections for my dog. We've got his little feeding station and his bag of food and his leash. And then he's got a pet bed with lots of goodies strewn around. So honestly, this room, I think I'm happy to like close out this chapter. Which means we need to think about how the rest of the house is now going to progress. Before we do that, I should probably take a quick refresher break. So an ad is going to run for any non-subbed viewers, and then when we get back, we'll figure out how to expand. I'll see you soon. Hello. I was gone a bit longer than I expected because I decided not immediately that I should make a cup of tea. It's fractionally a bit late in the day for me to be drinking tea, but I'll probably be fine. So, the plan is to extend the house. In a previous stream, probably in the last one, I talked about trying to make a conservatory. It would have been lovely to have had a daylight room here that then opened out into a conservatory. But the problem is I can't place one here, so I'd have to place another room and then attach it to that. And secondly, having the daylight circle room is like the end point to your ground floor, because you can't, at least in my situation right now, I can't expand from any other part of my house. There are parts, but they've all been used for decorative purposes, so you can't actually access them. So, I think we're going to have to be wise and start thinking about moving upstairs. Now, do we want to make it easy for ourselves and use one of the default stairwell rooms, which then gives you stairs built in, and you can like fill this space and make it a room of its own? Or do we take an empty stairwell room and make our own custom second floor? Technically, we call it first floor in British English. I think we should go easy on ourselves and just use one of the default rooms like this, because there's still lots we can do. The only thing for me is like it doesn't feel much like a cottage because it's so grand, and you can't get small stairwell rooms right now. You only have stairwell left or stairwell right. I mean, personally, I like stairwell left. Although, another thought I had is if we use a empty stairwell room, I'll show you. You have the ability to add rooms downstairs still, while also building, you know, wherever you want to get up to another level. Whereas with a default stairwell room, you don't have the option to add more rooms downstairs. So maybe what we should do is have a little cross section. Could we maybe even do it with... In what world is that a small square room? I was considering doing something like a cross-shaped room so that we could have a dining room and like continue anywhere downstairs that we might want and then go upstairs as well. Or maybe we just take the default room. Look, there can easily be a room under, block the stairs off and make this a room. I already had the vision of this kind of being a dining space. I think there's lots we can do. I just need to tune into my brain and make it happen. But for starters, we could do I haven't been customizing my walls at all. Kind of into one wall being stone. Maybe we do the cottage stone instead. How's the ceiling in this room? Oof. Yeah, it's gonna have to still be folk. We don't use a blood marble here, do we? No, I don't think so. I think we just stick with the good old stair style. Oof. No, thank you. No, we're gonna have to go keep it the same throughout. And then structural. This should definitely be a room, so I'm just figuring out a way to try and block this off. I mean, I guess this is a good start. Am I going to use a door for the first time? I don't like the doors in this game so far. Oh, and also, aren't I blocking? I surely am blocking the stairwell. I need to be really conscientious of this. Ooh. Then how am I going to get a door here? Guess we can make a small one. Does that cause any issues upstairs? No. Now we just have to line this up scale-wise, which is tricky because the game doesn't technically allow you to size these up, but you can bypass it. See, look, these doors are just... Oh gosh, I hope I can size these down. I think it's gonna have to be a blood elven door. Okay, you can actually size these down. Makes more sense to open inwards. Now doing it on a curve is going to be more tricky. Or not a curve, but on an angle. So I don't think I'm going to be able to use walls. Unless I'm allowed to... No, it doesn't want me to do that. Oof. We're gonna have to be creative, I think. Oh no. What if we do this instead? Grab a beam to cut a horizontal line through this horrible angle that we're having to work with. I mean, preferably like this. I'm going to try and marry it with the beam that's going across here. Something. And then give me a second one. Looks a little bit rough right there, but I think once the gaps are filled in, it will be better. This might be an easy fix in the top because we have a triangle shape of a gap up there, which I'm hoping it's going to be the wrong shape. Oh, it surely is. And I can't tip it on any angles. Can deal with that top section later, I think. We do masonry low down and then the wood further up, right? Now I really wish we had a feature where we could copy and paste in terms of scale and angle and everything. Not loving how this looks, but uh-oh. We go. It just needs to be a rough draft for now. And I'm very, very at home with the fact that I may delete all of this and start again. I'm honestly surprised there's no clipping. There's a tiny bit right there. Which is easily fixed. Okay. And I guess we continue these beam platforms up on an angle the same way the one below is. The scale is 80. I'm gonna try and line it up as best as I can. And then I also have to try and push it up. So I'm probably gonna undo all of that alignment that I just tried to do. What is that clipping? And then maybe now our little triangle of wood fits, but it might look a bit weird. No. Maybe we just put the whole square in there. Oh gosh, this looks so boo-boo. There's gaps everywhere. There's a tiny gap there. It's probably clipping. Oh my goodness, is it not clipping? I don't know how we've managed that. That's impressive. Well, I mean, we've taken a stairwell room and created an additional room out of it. On this side, it looks bad. But that's an issue for another day. This looks really bad. I need to do something about this. Maybe we just don't need that horizontal beam. Can I just get away with using one enormous one? Maybe I can. It's gonna help it look a lot more seamless, at least. Oh, well, that makes it look much cleaner. Now we have clipping, though. That's fine. We can push it further down. I think that looks cleaner. I kind of have an issue with the fact that one side of the column is masonry and the other side is just white wall. But I think if we make the whole thing one, it's going to look really noticeably what's the word I'm looking for? It's not going to have the uniformity. I've also just had a thought. Maybe we could try to remedy it by drawing a wall along this line here. So then it's not a completely flat back wall. It does make this room drastically smaller. I'm not sure. Because if we draw another wall line, we're still going to have to align it with the stairs going up again. So these walls are built to be two-story like this, because this marries up with the top floor. More or less. Now I'm just curious about changing the entire shape of this room. How does it look if you put a wall up against stairs? It actually doesn't look that bad. But then I don't think the narrow one is even narrow enough to fit in this gap. Unless we just overlap it, which is, oof, looks a bit wild. The main reason I'm put off building my own stairwell room is because this just making stairs is going to be so expensive. Whereas we get a whole stairwell room without affecting our interior budget because it's a room placement, not decor placement. I think we're probably on to something with this room. It just needs finessing. Yeah, so we can't have this. It has to be shrunk down, and then it's just asymmetrical. And I'm trying to figure out if that bothers me or not. Because it immediately looks better having this back wall be one texture rather than two different wall types. But then for this one to marry up, it's going to have to be even smaller, I think. Because otherwise it's going to clip. Although it is clipping into this banister, it's not actually getting in the way. Because then you sink it down and it has this stairwell effect, which just looks really strange. So my last suggestion is to just do layers of beams. And maybe that makes it look neater. Don't need a ton of them either to make it happen. This is honestly the neatest it's looked so far, which is good. No. I'm gonna have to put something decorative in this bottom corner because I don't think I can cover that tiny gap. That looks much better. And then I'm just gonna put this here right now so that we don't have to think about the fact that there's a gap, a very small gap. It's where the mice get in. And then if it's from this side, it looks a bit weird, but I was considering trying to make this into 2 rooms anyway. Meaning we would put a wall here, or honestly, we could just put a vertical pillar. And as long as it's not clipping into the stairs, which it probably is right now. Oh gosh. We can just blend these together and hide them a little bit. That just makes them look neater and more purposeful. And then it's not clipping either. Okay. That's not bad. We can decorate this wall so it's not looking quite so bland. This is kind of where I could consider there being a profession space. This looks like a little hidden office, and I like that it's almost got that lofted feel with the stairs. And I have quite a few desks and inscription themed items that would work very nicely in this room, so maybe this is where that goes. There we go. That looks much better than how it was originally. So we've made at least 1 room out of the stairwell room. And then I was gonna make this a dining space, which means we should probably put some kind of table down for scale. I was thinking of like a big rectangular table as opposed to a round one. But now that I think about it, maybe a round table could go sort of here. I would probably make it a bit bigger just because this room is ginormous. And then still have the idea of expanding this little room out further so that this room feels a bit more compact and maybe a bit cozier. So otherwise we're going to be rocking with a lot of empty space. It's a start. Something is happening here. We just need to maybe refresh and come back to this particular idea another day. Like when you have a fresh pair of eyes, maybe I'll have some inspiration. If you guys have any suggestions, please do let me know. But for now, I think I'm going to wrap up my stream here for today. Thank you very much for joining. It's been wonderful to have you as always. I don't have any streams this weekend because I have some friends visiting me, like I mentioned earlier. And next week, I believe there are some days where I'm not going to be in the country, so streams next week might be quite limited as well. But I will figure out a stream schedule on Sunday and post that on my Twitch channel and in my Discord server, so be on the lookout for that. For now, I wish you a wonderful rest of your Friday. Have a very happy weekend, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.